So, explain your political views. Deadpool.
I am a hardcore fucking Republican, almost to the point, like, I probably could be fucking Dick Cheney.
That's not a good thing. You don't really...
Yeah. Why do you want to be that guy?
I'm not going hunting with you.
Yeah, you like hunting, dude.
Everybody leaves.
If you're from the South,
Like,
talk about
y'all?
being Dick Cheney. No, I'm good.
Not going.
I don't own a chainsaw, so I mean we're good.
I do.
But I guess when I get deep down into the weeds, I'm pro-life because fuck you, you fucked around. If you had sex, you should have the fucking kid. If you want to give it up for adoption, sure, later on, go for it. That's your choice. Don't fucking abort the kid.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I mean, my children most likely will be aborted because fucking anything that's like 50% me is probably not best for the world.
But you'll fight to prevent it. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because SJWs get triggered about it, so.
Yeah.
I guess like half of my political stance just comes from pissing people off. I feel like all illegals should be shot on the spot. If like the second they're teabagging that fence, they should just take a bullet to the head. Nothing more, nothing less. Just full on, fuck you. Like, anybody else disagree? Like, that's how it should be.
Let's disagree. I'm just kidding.
We could capitalize, you know, illegal hunting.
Yeah, exactly. Like, honestly, I'd probably buy like 6-7 permits a year, sit there on the fucking border, and just like...
No, I'm thinking...
like, everybody,
arcade
like,
style.
the entire border just, like, lined up in orange vests with their fucking tents.
Or you can just get like automatic like target.
But that takes the fun out of it.
I don't know.
No, I'm
Like,
thinking it's like
Me and
a
my
TV
buddies would just
arcade.
sit there with a grill and a tent with just, like, everything lined up.
You have a little
like,
coin
some
operated
beers,
machine gun.
NASCAR playing in the background.
NASCAR.
Johnny, we got one on the fence right over here.
You have a
That's
little
where I
machine
got
gun.
that
You put in a
fucking
quarter. You put in a quarter, you get 20 rounds.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
Like,
you know.
honestly, you can make some fucking tax money off of that. Like, have a fucking bullet dispenser out there, 25 cents per round. Shit, you would make some fucking money
You
out there.
totally would.
Oh, man.
Well, let's move this forward.
Well, down.
You're cool. You're legal.
Lando,
Yes, sir. I'm gonna help you.
Safer.
what is your political background? Your political views?
My mother is a super conservative person. And so I grew up super conservative, but as I like journeyed through life, I met different types of assholes. And the ones I liked the least were the left-leaning, like Subaru driving, like Crocs. Fucking, you know, the kids are like in booster seats at like 9. You know, like this always aggravated me. You know, and
How
so-
closely did you inspect them to know that they were driving a Subaru wearing Crocs and that their kids were all in boosters?
Because they all do it. Like, it's not even like...
They're at Kmart.
You know, so my political ideologies really stem from me wanting to see my country actually be great again. I know that's kind of cliched at this point, but I really do. I've seen, like, points in American history that, you know, have brought me to tears, and I look at things and our generation is just garbage. And not the fun kind of trash that you can play around in and maybe find a dank cheeseburger.
or some bananas.
Or some bananas, you know. But no, on a very serious note, my political ideologies really stem from me wanting to repair and truly make our home more positive and great. Or at least slightly better. Yeah, that's about all. That's about all. I mean, I have some other shit, but it just goes on deeper. If you want to know, holla at me on Twitter. That's what I can tell you.
You want to know
Tag Trump
Lando's
and all of them.
secrets? Add him.
I have secrets.
Next question.
$9.99.
All right, Flannel. What are your political views?
My political views. I guess the most succinct way to put it would be radical traditionalist. I wouldn't call myself a conservative because, you know, I don't really give a fuck about lowering taxes. You know, I prefer low taxes, but you know, it's never a high priority. Not interventionist at all. I think the abandonment of the church that a lot of America and Europe has done has been awful. I think it's what's part of what led to the well state. Less people going to church, operating private charities. Instead, we have this horrible government system set up. Obviously, I'm pro-life. Initially, that was just because it, you know, triggered lefties, but now I realize how the family unit, you know, is the absolute cornerstone of society, and
Give me that.
Give me some.
Give me that.
That was the worst fucking high five.
I'm trying to look at the camera.
We're
All right.
you know, we're trying to like. Don't point it out, you loser.
Deadpool's a bully.
Yeah, he's a fucking troll.
Yeah,
But
we
yeah,
don't
you know,
stop trolling.
families are the cornerstone of
Sorry.
society. Any society that has abortion legal, you know, is basically saying that children are at best a commodity and at worst a burden, and no society will thrive by doing that. So, radical traditionalism, you know, minimize the ruins.
I agree with
So,
you.
like, will you just run into, like, an abortion clinic with a suicide vest on?
No,
That's
because
not-
suicide is a sin.
You said
Okay.
a suicide.
look at that.
There we go.
Turn the other cheek.
Boom. I only have 2 cheeks. That's my thing. My dad was like, turn the cheek.
Then you can't turn anymore. Then you
Well,
gotta
then,
do
then I
something
have
else.
the gun. Then I have the gun. It's like 1, 2, gun.
Run out of cheeks.
Yeah, then
One,
you're gonna have to
two,
do something
gun.
about it.
1, 2, gun.
All right, let's move this along. Petrov, political background.
So, you know, I love all-encompassing points of view. I love learning. I started off kind of liberal, you know, when I first got into like college, and I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, it's easy. It's easy to get in that because it's how everyone starts off. If you go to college and you have kind of a blank slate, especially from high school,
Yeah.
there's nothing really like that. You easily can sway into the whole equality because it's on the surface it sounds good, and there really isn't anything wrong with like yeah we got to take care of people, the whole concept, and there is nothing wrong with that. But then you go on a slippery slope into this other concept and how you handle it, and it also almost becomes like a way of you if you don't believe in these concepts, you're against taking care of people, and that's not true. The difference is everyone believes in taking care of people and building a great society and helping people, but it's just both sides are disagree on how it's done.
Yeah.
But the other side teaches is like, oh yeah, they're just traditional, and you know, teaches the other side, oh, they're just traditional. They haven't figured out the right way. They're stuck in the old ways. And it's kind of almost like we're not here to help. We're here to discriminate. We're here to hurt people, and that's not true.
Yeah, it's not true at all. I mean, look, and I hate to cut you
Yeah, no
off,
worries.
but I just want to drive through the point that, I mean, you know, me being half black, I can sit amongst people and they can say nigger and they can call me a nigger, and look, we're all friends here, you know?
I know, it's awesome.
Isn't it? Like, that's
I
equality.
love being able to say that without getting, like, any kind of...
I know,
face.
it's like
That's it.
it's like
We're a bunch of niggers and faggots holding
Yeah.
hands and having a good time.
it's like
Circle
if I can bullshit back and forth with Lando, that's like, and he can say the same shit to me. To me, the words itself don't hold the power. To me, they're just, we're fucking with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that makes a stronger friendship. You put these words on limited limited list. You're not allowed to say these things. It's like, oh,
Give them power.
you gotta be careful. Gotta be careful not to say the wrong thing. It's like,
Yeah.
is that true friendship? That you're like, what? You're trying to figure out what you can or
Don't
cannot
each
say to your friends.
My rights don't end where your feelings begin.
Yeah, thank you. Wow, that's actually a good one.
I think in the end we can all come together if we can just talk shit about each other. Honestly,
There you go. Yeah, that's true. Like, if you troll it, being trolled is good sometimes. Though. Like, I like to be trolled, and it's necessary for your, like, expansion.
I mean, like if you take it well, if I fuck with you, you take it well. It's just like, all right, cool, and then we can move on. And if you start like getting crazy, that's gonna go the wrong way. You know, it's just like you fuck around, but make sure to keep the smile on. Everybody's gonna be happy, you know. So what else about my political views? For the most part, I'm Russian. My family's Russian, and I understand. I understand that what communism is about, and what I'm seeing today with liberalism is a lot of the same ideas that started the communist revolution, and look where that ended up.
Murder.
A lot of dead people.
A lot of murder.
And it was the same. It was the same exact thing. It's like equality, and it sounds great. Like equality. Look at people, the top % people on top.
Let's
They're
punish
taking all
people
of
for
our money.
success. You know.
They're taking all of our money, so let's take it from them. It's just like it was the same thing. Even though there's a lot of overlap in kind of equality, and same thoughts behind it. yeah, we can have. I guess we can have equality, but we don't have to have equality in a sense of wealth or in a sense of ability. Everybody has different ability. Everybody has different parts where they start off. You know, it doesn't mean we have to try to artificially balance that out. Let's all just and we can help each other too. We don't need the government. We don't need one central location where all of our life decisions are made. We can have communities, families that we go to figure out to solve these problems, and that's what's important.
Did you say that we don't need the government?
For the most
Not
part,
for welfare.
For very few things like make sure we don't kill each other.
Protect us from
Make sure
ourselves and enemies.
make sure make sure we have some roads. Just basic things, but don't go too far. As little as possible. And if you start saying like, oh, we need free education, we need free healthcare, it's like that's already kind of creating the slippery slope of too much power. You know, and centralized decision making, centralized planning doesn't work. What works is community, friendship, strong families, culture, and that's what really builds good societies.
Yeah.
I don't understand why your nickname's Undercover BuzzFeed. Jesus Christ, I feel like I just went through like
10 articles.
yeah, 10 articles of BuzzFeed right there.
Well,
in,
I'm
like,
converting.
one
That's what I'm
Jesus
doing here.
Christ.
Really, it's all a sting operation.
7 examples of government overreach. Number 2 is surprising.
Want to talk about your political views, Alex?
Sure. I grew up, I guess, in the church. I went to church every Sunday. I guess very conservative.
I
Thanks
hate
to my
Mexicans.
dad. Thanks to my dad, I'm very, I guess, against the bullshit that Mexicans do tend to do. Like,
Like ruin everything.
Like ruin everything. Like claim they need a lot of shit when they don't. It's just.
I mean, I would too. I would too.
It's just sad to see your people act this way.
Yeah.
So
you people.
My people, quotation marks. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I grew up saying. My parents used to tell me like you could say whatever the fuck you want, like essay, and they give me a gun to go to school. But
Really?
no.
Oh, I was like, Jesus Christ!
But it's like
It's like, no, they just gave me a knife.
Columbine too.
Columbine too. So
L happening.
so it's just like I don't know. Honestly. I'm just against the bullshit because a lot of my friends
He's
lost.
against the fake news.
A lot of my friends I've lost through like my political views, and it's like you're really gonna ruin like years of friendship over something like that. Like I guess going off of what Petrov said, like if you're not allowed to joke with your friends about anything, then like are you really friends? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like me, I'm like I let my friends call me faggots, and like I don't really care. Do you know what I mean?
Fucking faggot.
So like being like person of color faggot Trump supporter is like dime a dozen, I guess.
This just makes you a real big target.
Basically.
Niche market.
You're like the Mexican version of Milo Yiannopoulos.
Milo Gutierrez.
That's your new name.
Oh no.
So I'm going to answer 2 questions with my bit here. The next question is, why did you guys come down to the stream initially, and what kept you coming back? So I'm going to start with my political views. I kind of generally like consider myself a libertarian. I'm pretty conservative on all like just financial issues when it comes to government. I'm pretty socially liberal. I mean, I do think that people should be able to marry whoever they want, but I also believe that like marriage shouldn't be an institution of the state. Like, you should be able to pair up whoever you want and hang out and live together and do whatever you want.
Hey, yo, bro, you want to get some pizza, play some games, maybe suck some dick?
Yeah, that's okay to do, man. In
It's
America.
cool with 2 consenting adults. Go
Nowadays,
for
what classifies as consenting, though?
You know, and I also
it.
want to see.
So that's a whole. We don't want to go down that road.
I know, right?
Anyways,
I also want to see things like marijuana legalized because I understand the benefits of it, but that makes me everyone's enemy. But being a libertarian has allowed me to talk to both of the people on the left and right and kind of be friends with everyone until this election. Hillary Clinton's campaign, it was really like, you're with us or you're against us, and that's not okay. Like, it can be okay to vote for someone else. It doesn't make you a racist, a monogamist, or I'm not saying that right.
Misogynist.
Misogynist. There you go.
Misogynist?
Monogamous.
Monogamous, like someone who only
Monogamous?
dates one person. Yeah.
I hate monogamous.
So I mean, just to vote for Trump doesn't make you a monster, and my integrity brought me back to the right. I mean, I used to be I used to vote pretty left. I mean, I used to vote for Democrats, but now I'm like, I'll never call myself a Democrat again after this last election, and I'm out here on a comedy crusade trying to protect free speech.
White is right.
Well, that's not right.